Hey guys, Streak the Sports here, and today we are predicting Pittsburgh's 2019 college football schedule. Pittsburgh won the Coastal last year, and they were an okay team, not the best because the Coastal was very weak and was up for grabs. Pittsburgh grabbed it, and of course they got crushed in their conference championship game against the Clemson Tigers. But Pittsburgh overall year, not too bad. I believe they were 7-7. I believe was their record. They had they were okay. 500 record, not too shabby. I don't know why I said shabby, but yeah. Pittsburgh was okay last year. I do think they are going to decrease as a team. I think they're on the downfall. I don't see them winning the Coastal this year. I think they're much better contenders than Pittsburgh this year. You know the drill. We're going to go over the schedule, and then we'll actually predict game by game. I'll give you my picks. I'll give you my record. So, yeah. First game, Virginia. They're hosting Virginia. Nothing much. It's Virginia. They're going to be better this year than they have been in previous years. Nothing really to say. They're just hosting Virginia. Not too big of a game. I can't see Pittsburgh hanging around in this one, but you know what my overall opinion is on this game. It's I think Virginia's going to win it, but we're not predicting game by game. So they're hosting Virginia, and then they're hosting Ohio in one of their non-conference games. It's a group of 5 team, should be an easy win. And then you go out to Penn State for an interesting game. At Penn State, I believe that is your only road non-conference game, because after that you're hosting UCF and then you're hosting Delaware, which is a FCS team, lower classification school, not as good as you. So yeah, you host Ohio, you host UCF and Delaware, and then you are out at Penn State. So you have all your non-conference games in a row. The ACC scheduling's a little weird. Like the Big 12, as you know, they do all their non-con games, and then after that they have all their conference games. But ACC's is kind of weird. I believe it's their second. In the SEC, they have their second to last game of the season is against a FCS school or a lower classification school. Usually one of the lower teams, usually a group of 5 or FCS school. But Pitt, they got all 4 of their games sandwiched between conference games. They start out with Virginia, and then they got all their non-conference games. So then after Delaware, they finish their non-conference games, and then they go out to Duke. That's going to be an interesting game. I'm excited to see that. I think that's going to be mid-30s scoring wise. That's going to be a very fun game to watch. And then even though they're not going to be ranked, I think that'll be a great game to watch. After that, you got your first bye week. You got 2 bye weeks on the season. It happens every so often, and this is one of the years that it does happen. So you got your bye week, and then you're going out to Syracuse, which you kind of upset last year because you got the win over them, and I believe that was one of Syracuse's 3 losses. The other 2 were to, I believe, Notre Dame and Clemson, which are very good teams. Yeah, and their only other loss was to you. So you're going out at Syracuse this year. We'll see how that one turns out. And then you come back, host Miami. You go out to Georgia Tech, and then you got your second bye week. Then you host North Carolina. You go out to Virginia Tech, and then you host Boston College. So strength of schedule wise, you got a lot of people think Virginia's going to be a good team this year. I think they will. I have them at 10-2. If you haven't seen that, please check that video out. That was my first one, actually. But I think you got Virginia and Penn State could show up, but I I don't think this is a competing year for them. I think they're moving forward. I think they're trying to move forward and figure things out there. I definitely see them ranked, but I don't see them top 5 or top 10 really. I doubt they're going to be top 10. I can see them top 15 to 20, somewhere around there. I think they're going to have like 4 losses. But anyways, so 2 pretty solid teams, and then you got UCF. See where they end up, and then we really don't know. Miami and Virginia Tech are just 2 big question marks. And then Syracuse last year, I forgot what they ended up with. They were pretty high. They went 10-3, so you could see them in the top 25 as well. So not too bad strength of schedule wise. I'd say pretty average. But again, Virginia Tech and Miami, just 2 big question marks. We don't really know what is going to happen to them. So enough talking about the schedule. Let's actually predict game by game. See who I have winning. So, first game of the season, hosting Virginia, the Virginia Cavaliers. As you know, I have Pitt losing this one. I think they're going to hang around in the first half, but I think they're going to lose it ultimately to a better Virginia team. I mean, pretty simple. So your own one, not too. I mean, a lot of people will have expected you to lose this game, so it's not much of a disappointment. I mean, I'm sure it is to your guys, to your players. So they bounce back week 2, beat Ohio at home. You got to win these lower classification games against these lower schools, these schools that aren't as good as you. So you win it. You beat Ohio. You're 1-1. Then you go out to Penn State. Now this Penn State game, you guys got crushed last year. You got absolutely crushed last year. I think it's going to be much closer. I think this game is going to be a bit of a surprise to people. I think this game is actually going to be pretty close. I could see Penn State winning this one only by 7 or 10. I think Pitt is going to show up in this game, but they're going to fall just short and lose this one to Penn State. I think being away is the difference here. I think Penn State's going to kind of overlook this game, and it's a rivalry game. It's an in-state rivalry game. Records don't really matter. Team talent doesn't really matter because you got to show up in a game like this. And I think Pitt shows up more than Penn State, but I still think Penn State's going to get the win, just barely. They sneak out with the win. I think it's all depending on how many Pitt fans are there too. I mean, if Pittsburgh's got a big support there, which I don't think is going to happen that much because Penn State obviously they have a lot more fans than Pitt, I believe. That's what I think that's safe to say. I think the Penn State fans and the Penn State home field advantage is going to be the difference in this game. And then week 4, you're 1-2. You're facing UCF, the UCF Knights. Oh, this one's tough. This one's a really tough game. I'm going to give UCF the win here. Yeah, I'm going to give UCF the win here. But that is a tough game. I think if UCF if Mackenzie Milton wasn't injured and it managed to beat LSU last year, I'd be more confident in picking UCF, but I don't know. I think UCF's going to get the win here. I got them with a win. Yeah, it's a tough game to predict. Yeah, so I got you guys 1-3. That's tough. So you lose to a group of 5 team, which is understandable. It's UCF. That is forgivable. So now you got Delaware. You should eat Delaware. No, you should beat Delaware very easily. Yeah, and Delaware should be an easy win for you, and you guys need that win, because if you lose to Delaware, your season's over. You gotta win this Delaware game if you wanna even a slight chance of going to a bowl game, because you're not winning the rest of your games after a Delaware loss. I'll tell you that much. So you got wins over Delaware and Ohio. Congratulations. You have losses to Virginia at home, on the road at Penn State, and hosting UCF. So those are your losses. So you're 2-3, not too bad, okay, meh. And I do think you beat Duke. I do think you beat Duke on the road to go into this bye week. I think that's huge for you guys, as you are now 3-3. You finally get that. You finally get that Power 5 win on the season. You get it, and it comes at Duke. Big win for you guys. So then after that bye week, you got Syracuse. And almost halfway through the season, I believe. Almost there. Or maybe you might be more than halfway, actually. I don't know. But you're around the middle of the season. You're at Syracuse. You beat them last year. I just think, even after the bye week, I think Syracuse is a much better team than you. And that's why I'm giving Syracuse the win and you guys the loss. I think just Syracuse is a better team overall than you guys. I was very surprised when Pitt beat you last year. When Pitt beat Syracuse last year. It was very surprising. But yeah, I'm going to give you guys the loss here. So you guys are 3-4 now, coming into that Miami game. And I do think it's homecoming. I think you're going to shock Miami. I do think you're going to get the win here on homecoming. You're hosting Miami. I think Miami is going to be a little cocky. I think they're going to expect a win out of this, but I do think you guys get the win. Miami has to travel to Pittsburgh. You guys don't have to travel anywhere. I mean, all you have to do is go from Syracuse to Pitt like a week earlier. So I do think Miami gets the L and you guys get the win here in a surprise upset over Miami. I think the hype gets the best of them and you win that game. So now you guys are 4-4, and you got Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, an interesting team, but I gave you guys the loss here at Georgia Tech. I don't think you guys are going to be that great on the road this season. I think I have you losing all your road games, which I have you losing so far. And I think it's going to continue with this Georgia Tech game. I just think Georgia Tech, I think they're going to be ready to play, and I think you guys are going to be looking back on that Miami game, having a great time. But I think Georgia Tech's going to be ready to play, and I think they're going to beat you. So you guys are 4-5 right now. So it's pretty simple. You guys got to go 2-1 in these next 3 games after this bye week to close out the season. You start after that second bye week against a pretty easy opponent, North Carolina. Bye week or not, I do think you will beat North Carolina. I think it's pretty simple. You beat North Carolina. So you're 5-5. You got to win. You can beat Virginia Tech and lose to Boston College, or it can be flip-flopped. Either way, I got you losing both. I got you losing both of the games. At Virginia Tech, I think Virginia Tech has a pretty solid home field advantage for ACC school-wise. Out of all the ACC teams, I think Virginia Tech's got a solid fan base. I think they're going to be hyped. I think they're going to be ready. And I think they're going to beat you. So that's okay. You got one more chance, but I think you lose. I think you choke. At home, too. At home. And before I made this video, when I made the Boston College video, I didn't expect you guys to be in the situation, the same one as Boston College. But I had Boston College beating you, so I'm going to have you losing here. So you guys do not make a bowl. You miss out. 5-7. A very wasted season. A very, very wasted season. Yeah, I mean, it was on rivalry weekend, too. You lose to Boston College. I think Boston College has a little more depth. I think they're going to be ready. I think you will be, too, but I think Boston College wants it just a little more, and I think they're going to claw their way to a bowl game. Unlike you finish the season 5-7, no postseason for you. It's a tough way to go, but it happens. So that's what I think about Pitt this season. That's what I think they're going to do this season. That's all for me on Jake Does Sports. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love making college football content for you guys. It'd really mean the world to me if you guys liked, commented, subscribed. Thank you to all the commenters. Criticism or not, I love it. I love to see that people actually do watch my content and subscribe. It's great. So that's all for me on Jake Does Sports. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.